In this tutorial in Adobe Premiere Elements 2020, we're going to look at how to customize the appearance of the fonts that you use in your titles. You can go far beyond the presets that are available in Premiere Elements by using a special color tool. But it's a bit complicated, so we'll take several tutorials to unpack all the features of that tool. I have on the screen a video. It's a short clip of a wood scene with a walking bridge. And like with any other clip or part of a video production, I want to add a title. I drag the current time indicator to the frame where I want the title to start, and then I'm going to click on the text option at the top. Again, I'm in expert mode, and then choose New Text and then Default Text. That will open up a control panel on the right and drop a text on the current track above the previous ones. Now what happens is the text appears at the center at a default color and shape, and we're going to change that. Let me survey very quickly some of the tools you have. Normally you're familiar with these. You have bold, italic, and underline, left, center, and right. You have a vertical and horizontal alignment, and then you can type the text in horizontally, which is a default, or vertically as well, and click on the arrow tool to control the mouse selecting the text. What I need to do is I need to enlarge it so we can see it better, and I want to change the background so you can see some of the variations. So for this tutorial, I'm going to simply put a shape behind it. I'm going to click on the tab on the right and click a rectangle. When I move my mouse over the screen, it turns into a plus. I'm just going to draw a rectangle, actually bigger than the screen in this case. Then I'm going to click on the color option, and we'll change the color to a light gray, and click on OK. Now the problem is my box is in front of the text, so I'll right click on it, choose Arrange, and say Send to Back. Now I have my text back here like I wanted before. I'm going to click on the arrow. That will let me select the text. Now we're going to do some work on it. I'll click back on the font area, and to make it bigger I have three options. I can drag to the right to enlarge the size of the text, or to the left to shrink it, or I can simply type in a number, any number I want. I'll do 320. That will give it a size. Again, I can line it horizontally and vertically by clicking on these two boxes. Or the third thing I can do is, with the arrow selected, I can click on any of the handles to make it taller or wider, or on the corner to change both features at once. And then again, I can realign it if I like. Let's take this, and we're going to change something else about it. Now the tool we're going to be focusing on is the color palette. I click on this, I'm going to drag it. This is the tool that we're going to work on, but I have a problem right now in we're using it in this particular text. I have a fill, which is the color of the face of the text, and I can change that, but I don't have a stroke. Now the stroke here is what I would call the outline. This is empty. So I have no control to change the outline of the font. I can change the face of it, but not the outline. How do I fix that problem? What I need to do is pick another default that has an outline or a stroke value. So I'm going to click on the Style tab at the top, and I notice this one doesn't, but this one and this one and this one, in fact most of them, have a contrasting outline value. And I don't care if it's black or white or any other color, because we're going to change it. But I want one that has an outline. Some of them do and some of them don't. But the easiest one for me to pick is one of the ones in the top three, but not the upper left one. So I'll pick this one here, and that will give me a new value. Now I'm going to click back to Font, and I'm going to change it to another font that I have available in my copy of Microsoft Windows. Let's just click on this one here, and then I'm going to make it larger for purposes of illustration. And now we're going to get into our color tool. I'm going to click on the color palette and drag it over. And I'd like to explain some of the things that you have available to you here. All the color controls are up in the top third. They control either the face of the letter, called the fill, or now I have a stroke value, the stroke value. And you set them by clicking either the square box by fill or the other square box, and that will let you change the color either of the face of the font or the outline of the font. You also have a drop shadow. We'll get into that later. Now here's the ways in which you can control it. I have a default here that came in, and you notice it has RGB for red, green, and blue values. You can change those one of two different ways. I can drag to the right, and that increases the number for red or green or blue. Or, secondly, I can simply click in the box and type in a value. If I do 222 for red and 25 for green, and if I do 213 for blue, now I have a nice hot pink. So if you have a number you want to match exactly, the best way to do it is to type it in. Those are the two ways you can do it by changing these numbers here. The third way is by using the slider in combination with the circular ball. So the slider gets me what I call in the ballpark of the color that I want to use. And then I can drag the ball, and you can actually drag it so it's partly on the screen and partly off the screen, to use the different variations in terms of lightness and darkness, the amount of white and the amount of black that you have in that particular band. So you adjust it here first, and then you modify it by dragging the ball. And you notice this is dynamic over here. The R, G, and B values will change. So what are the boxes to the right of where the arrow is? They're very important. If you simply want a quick white, you click on the white box. Quick black will give you the black box. And the box at the top with the diagonal red line, that's transparent. So you have those three options. Now here's a trick. If you find that you can't change them, make sure you don't have transparent checked, because now I can change things in my preview screen all I want, but they're not changing on the letters I see in the panel on the left because transparent's turned on. I need to choose either white or black, it doesn't matter whichever. And then I now have controls that actually will impact the color of my letters. So those are the controls for the fill or the face. Now I have the same controls that I can use on the outline, or what's called the stroke. So if I take the stroke here, my default is white. I can click here to make it black. Or again, I can click here and get in the ballpark to the color selection I want, and then modify it by moving the ball, or I can actually physically change the numbers up here to make it anything I like. The other thing I can do is change the weight, or I would call it the size of the stroke. I can drag to the right or left, or again I can simply type in a number. Let's type in number 5, and now I've modified it that way. So you have those variants. The third tool that you have in the initial area we're going to look at in this tutorial is a drop shadow. If I click on drop shadow, it adds a shadow. Notice it's very small, and I control that by the distance. Again, I can make it bigger or shorter. I can change the angle by dragging, or simply by typing in a number. Let me type in a number like 90 of degrees, and that gives me that variant. Now I just did something that I don't like to do. When you press the Enter key, it takes you out of your control, and all you have to do is click back and you can resume working where you were. So you can change the angle or the distance, and notice it goes back to default values when you have to pop back into the tool. So it's important not to pop out of the screen before you're ready to do that. You can also make any of these three things invisible. I uncheck the box and the drop shadow goes away. I can be clicking on the fill and turn that to transparent by clicking on the box with a red slash. And I can click on the stroke weight and make that transparent, and everything goes away. You can actually have hollow letters by using this feature here. That's a hollow black. I can change it to any kind of color I like. And I can make it a little bit fatter here. Or I can go back to fill, turn it from transparent to black or white or any color in the rainbow that I particularly would like to use. So those are some of the basic ways in which you can modify that. The softness area, when it comes back to the drop shadow, is how fuzzy it is. The edges are not as sharp, or I can make it harder by giving it a smaller number. We're going to look in the next exercise about some of the very powerful tools that are harder to understand in the gradient area here, where you can do bevels and gradients of various kinds to really customize your letters in Adobe Premiere Elements 2020.